Receiving feedback was really easy for Nisa. I think from the beginning we established a professional and personal relationship where I felt comfortable with her telling me how I can improve or giving me just any type of constructive criticism I was able to accept from her. And I think because it wasn't from the beginning always a formal sit down and evaluation, sometimes the feedback was right in the moment. And I could appreciate that, and that allowed me to fine tune and fix things quickly. Some of our more formal feedback sessions happen probably 2 times a month, and that's where we would sit down and think about like a goal and then check in about how that goal's going. And I think twice a month was good because one, it gave me a chance to practice whatever the feedback was and to improve before our next meeting, and it also didn't feel like an extra burden. I think feedback should be really fluid and open, and I'm just really happy about how we were able to handle that.
And what would you say for people who have trouble receiving feedback? What would your advice be to them, apprentices that might struggle with the gift of feedback?
I think for those who are not as open to feedback, the first piece of advice I could give is to just stop, not to do that, because we just have to really humble ourselves and acknowledge that we are entering into new work that is very complex in many ways, and the people who are mentoring us have had the same challenges that we've had and had the same struggles, and it's great to learn from others' mistakes so that you don't make the same ones. And one great thing about the feedback relationship that I had with Nisa is that sometimes she did let me make those mistakes, but she had a really good sense of when it was okay and when she needed to intervene, because even though like part of the first year teacher experience is making mistakes, it's just really important to know that someone is there to back you up and let you know when it's okay and when it's always okay, and when to just take a step back and just look at yourself and teaching yourself how to give feedback too.
This was my first year being out of the classroom and working as an instructional leader, and I found that the experience coaching not only veteran teachers but more so the apprentices, it helped develop me as a leader because it allowed me to see how teachers accepted feedback. Those who weren't necessarily open to it at first, being able to build that relationship with them was really, really important, and it helped me grow as a leader because I was able to reflect a lot on the way I gave feedback and the way feedback was presented, whether it be in a conversation, via email, in school, at a social event. It really did help me learn that everyone learns differently, and just because I thought that this was the absolute right way isn't necessarily true. So I definitely think that it's helped me develop my leadership skills, and I'm looking forward to continuing to learn more about myself as a leader.
So as far as the importance of feedback, I think it's really important to give feedback ongoing. Last year we had sit-down meetings like once a week where we would talk about the classroom and talk about things that we thought were going well and things that we were struggling with. So I would give Zakia direct feedback about things that I thought that she needed to work on. And each week I could see a lot of improvement, and I think just giving her that weekly feedback really helped her grow. So something definitely that's important. With our relationship, I think it was good to have that face-to-face, and that's something that we talked about in the beginning of the year. Didn't really make sense in the situation we were in to do like email feedback at the time, but face-to-face worked for us really well. This year, as her coach, we moved more into email feedback with some face-to-face feedback, but both I think were beneficial to her growth. It can be difficult sometimes giving that hard feedback, so I think just being very direct with it, and really finding out how your mentee receives feedback. It could be just the way you're delivering that's causing the struggle, so kind of altering the way you give it to them as well.